What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Real Logic Show with an out-of-theater review. I just got out of the theater seeing Scream 7. That's a fun movie. I wasn't the biggest fan, if I'm being honest with you. If you were going into this movie with the sole intention of, hey, I'm going to see a Scream movie, I like this franchise, you can have a good time. There were some cool deaths, cool moments that I did enjoy, some interesting creative kills, I will say. Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott. Loved her performance in this one. I feel like her being a mother gave her a little more character depth and a little bit better story to work with as a final girl. So I thought that was a really well done job seeing her growing up. You can't really relate it to Jamie Lee Curtis in the new Halloween films. The way that they handled trauma, it was completely opposite of each other. But the reason why it does make sense is just due to how within the Scream franchise, Sidney went on to write a book on how to deal with her trauma. So I understand why she's a little more stoic and mentally put together than Jamie Lee Curtis was in the newer films. But the film just didn't necessarily work for me. I do have to preface and say, I don't think there's any bad Scream movie. You're going into a slasher film, so you know what you're getting into. But in terms of the killer reveal, I'm not going to go too in-depth of spoilers or anything, because I know a lot of people are going to go see this movie still. I saw it opening night. I do have this to show you guys. By going to the opening release, I got a Scream 7 poster. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll create a room for my studio of just all little gifts and shit I get for going to opening releases. We'll see. Yeah, it wasn't for me, in terms of the ranking of the franchise, I'm probably going to put it, I'd say it's pretty neck and neck with the third one. And I think Scream 6, which was my second lowest, is probably going to go above this one. Because Scream 6, I thought it was scarier. Now, granted, I hated the third act of Scream 6. I thought it was stupid, and I just didn't like how unrealistic it honestly came to be. But this film, I feel like you didn't get much background as to why the killers had their reveal and their motive. I'm kind of at a loss of what to say. I just don't think it worked for me. Now with Scream 6, the subway scene, I'm on the edge of my seat, in terror. It's a good moment that 6 had, and I feel like this one kind of lacked that. You knew what you were getting into. This is a movie that realized there is 30 years of this franchise. There were a lot of callbacks to the original and Gale's relationship with Sidney, and they kept bringing up 30 years ago. Now, I will say, seeing this in the theater was fun. There's something about that theater experience which a bunch of people, some people don't like that, but the clapping, that community of people having a shared passion and going to the theater together with complete strangers and getting that feeling, I really enjoyed that. And there were definitely a few moments in this film that brought an uproar within my theater, and that was really cool, I will say. Gale's entrance when she's first seen in this film is one of the coolest entrances in horror that I have ever seen, so that was pretty neat. But besides that, I don't have too many positives to say about this film. I will say I didn't guess the killers, but that's not necessarily a good thing, because the killers in my mind had a better motive than what the actual killers we got. That's about all I have to say. If you like this franchise, go ahead and see this movie. I think you could still have a fun time seeing it, but don't get your hopes up too high for another Scream 2 or the original, or even Scream 4 for that matter. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.